Welcome to the Woke Socialist Podcast in the Maryland 400. For some reason, unknown to me, I was bombarded today with messages about how, I don't know if they're trolls or not, but people of MAGA love to see the KKK, that is Will Kelly, and veterans who fought for the United States of America being jailed, beaten, and imprisoned. I have no idea where the woke farmer is or Will Kelly, but the shit is on because we need to find him. They called him a fascist. They made up stories about him. Since I cannot corroborate those stories, I can't say they are true. So here's where we are at. If you see a comment on one of your videos from the Woke Socialist Podcast, please understand that this is not our first rodeo. And those comments included things like, we enjoy seeing Donald Trump annihilate you. We enjoy this or that. We enjoy the subjugation of niggers. This is the language they have used when they addressed me. But that is okay. This is what Democrats in Congress continue to allow, so that they can continue to make money off of their offices. But I digress. Let me get back to the threats. The threat level against people who are pro-Constitution patriots, it is a higher level than any threat from any nation around the globe. NATO understands that only 30% of the American public is in favor of homicide and genocide on American soil for the purpose of fascism. These individuals said to me, we enjoy your suffering. Donald Trump is doing, we enjoy your suffering. Why is that? Let them be safe with that, because they are ignorant in their comfort. But by no means do any of these individuals threaten me. If you are going to contact us at the Woke Socialist Podcast, please include where you're from and your personal address. If you are not willing to do that, you're full of shit. And you're just keyboard cowboys. Now, on many occasions, I have invited the Ku Klux Klan to come within 5 miles of my home. Because if you're going to threaten me, motherfucker, you better be willing to back it up. And they are not willing to do that. So save your bullshit for someone who gives a fuck. And do not contact us. If you do, we will find out who you are, where you live, and out you. Yeah, it's called doxing. It's called war. Your president has declared war against United States citizens. And you know what? We're going to stand up to that and fight against it. This is the Woke Socialist Podcast and the Maryland 400. Please like and subscribe to this video. We do not give a fuck if we get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Because as long as you keep listening to these motherfuckers and getting intimidated by them, you deserve the government you voted for and fall for. Now let me be clear to black people in the United States of America. Since the Civil War, white men have conscripted during slavery black people to take their place fighting wars in the United States and abroad. Now the same thing is happening with the Trump administration. Military recruitment of willing individuals to serve this country is at an all-time low. That can be proven by the numbers. So after they promised freedom of enslaved people, after the first time we believed white people, that didn't happen. You had slave patrols, which are now ICE, COINTELPRO, any other name is just the same. Anytime a black person or a group of black people gain any type of education or monetary advancement, it gets struck down. Clarence Thomas is nothing more than the greatest white supremacist in this country. And because he was able to fool black people into thinking that he represented them, he set forth decades of raisin in the rice politics. And when I say raisin in the rice, I mean black people that want to be around white people and sell out their people for a little bit of money is on the rise like you would not believe. We here in the state of Maryland call it white, basically, proximity. If you can work in a big house instead of being a field nigger, then that makes you something special. Now, that has not worked through American history, and we know that. Clarence Thomas is too stupid to know that. Hakeem Jeffries is too stupid to know that. Cory Booker is too stupid to know that. And Jews in Congress like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi buy into the AIPAC and the bullshit because they think that brings their dirty ethnicity into white proximity. Every person who came into this country who was not white and British was exacted the laws of the land that pertain to those people at that time. Now that we know white ethnicity in America is on the decline, they have allowed Puerto Ricans who look white, Native Americans who look white, Cubans who look white, Italians who look white, dirty Irishmen who are conservatives, and now Indians from India. Let me tell you something about Kash Patel. Back in his country, he would be considered a Dalit. You need to read his history. A Dalit person in India is too dark to make the grade, to marry into high society. So people like Kash Patel back in India would dive into public toilets and drain out the shit of lighter colored people. And this is what black people are doing for Donald Trump. But I digress. Let me get back to the Dalits. You can read the book Caste or watch the movie Origin to see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, right now, black Republicans in Congress no longer represent the greater black community. Vote blue, no matter who, is dead. We are done with it. We are not sending our children off to join the military and fight in your wars. We are not your Negroes. And you, every last one of you, who takes AIPAC money or is supported by PACs that fund the genocide in Gaza or fund the genocide in America, and there is a genocide, you no longer represent us. So I say this. If you are black or brown in America, stop relying on people who continue to disappoint you over and over again. Don't join the military, join a militia. Because you know what? Protecting our bodies is still part of the United States Constitution. We need to stop using words like law enforcement as it appears, as it applies to ICE. We need to stop using words like unserious people. This is the white thing that we need to block out of our psyche right now. Because if you love your mother and you love your father and you love your children and you want them to live for the next 6 months, you need to rise the fuck up. No longer is any form of the United States government to be trusted. The only thing is black, brown, and red people in America you can trust in is arming yourselves and fighting physically in opposition. We are past time that the people that formed the American Revolution became actively involved in their civil defense. We are past that time. And don't look for any Americans, white people, to come liberate you from Nazi white America. We are the American liberation. Now, as we speak, the Trump administration is suffering from white privilege, integrity, deficit disorder. I have not lost my civil constitution and human rights as an American citizen. You did. Because every time you define ICE as law enforcement, every time you tell black people to obey the law, you tell them to obey the master. Because you do not make black people aware of the Bill of Rights or the United States Constitution. You don't demand that it be taught in school. You don't fight against the banning of books. Instead, you do your daily news on corporate media. Let the devil speak. And then you don't fact check. Why? For the love of money. The difference between someone like me and someone like you is no amount of money in the world can purchase my freedom. Only I can fight for it, and only I can defend it. Now let me get back to these cowards. The cowards we can call out all day. We can talk every day about Donald Trump and what he did and all this. But that's not going to change anything. What we need to do on our national stage is the same thing other countries do when murderers are murdering American citizens. We need to stand up for ourselves and stop being fearful of messages on the internet. Because you know what? Without Donald Trump, without MAGA, without the Proud Boys and all these other people, these people are not going to do shit. All they are is weekend warriors threatening you to get you to shut up. And as long as I have a voice and a piece of paper, that is not going to fucking happen. So for all of those who keep attacking me and my organization, the Woke Socialists, how about I give you an address to meet us at? And then you can assert your power. Donald Trump is not my president. But all you are capable of doing is sitting in your mother's basement, fucking your cousin, and following a despot, and a terrorist, a criminal, and a pedophile. You are the company you keep. And you are white trash. And every person of color in America right now is better than you. And your inferiority scares you. It hurts you to the core. And I say this one more thing to the United States Congress who still follows Donald Trump. You're not the best of the best. You're not elite. You're not powerful. And you're not even in power. Because the shit that is coming for you, you will never fathom. You are weak, disgusting traitors to this country. There are 340 million Americas in the United States. And one party in the Senate and House that supports Donald Trump. 500 some members of Congress. The math doesn't work. And if you force us, we will rise and there will be a revolution. We are not waiting to vote blue no matter who and for another white 2026 election to save us. White people make up the smallest percentage of the entire United States of America. You wanted a civil war, MAGA, but what you're going to get is a revolution. Stay tuned for the following video. And if you still support Donald Trump, go fuck yourself.